Join Bev Lazar, spiritual mentor, Reiki master, psychic medium, with Shelly Greenlaw, doula, yogi, and intuitive energy healer. Two sisters walking the path of spirit to share their experience and advice in all things energy, intuition, and beyond. The Empath Sisters.
Hi, and welcome back to Empath Sisters. I'm Shelly.
Hey everyone, it's Bev.
And today we decided that
You're so funny.
I know. Today we decided that we talk about me a lot. By the way, if anybody doesn't know, this is Shelly talking.
Oh,
But we decided that we're going to talk a little bit about Bev, and she just came back on from a really amazing trip with her family,
yeah,
and I really have not had the chance yet to really know exactly how her trip went. I know there was a few little here and there. She sent us some pictures and stuff, but but I am excited to hear about your trip, and yeah, I am. I'm excited because there's a couple things that you did do that I was like jealous.
Oh,
But it
was a great
definitely is
trip
something that that I want to hear, and we
to
all
hear
want to
about.
hear, right? So.
Yeah, I thought we'd take the opportunity also, to share. This is Bev, by the way. That about my trip. A lot of my clients as well knew that I was leaving and people in my life. So what a great opportunity to just share it. I just got back on Saturday, and this is going to launch, I think, tomorrow.
Yes.
So it's Tuesday, so just a couple days since I've been back, and we decided to take a family trip. Well, it actually started out with one thing I want to point out. For the people that are watching on YouTube, Shelly and I were wearing the exact same outfit, which was really funny. We're like, oh, she just took her sweater off, but
yes, I did.
we have the
I'll
exact
show it for the
outfit
people
out.
that are watching. See, I was wearing brown too.
Yeah, so we were twinning, so that was cool. Of course, I said great minds think alike. We're syncing as usual, so just pointing that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, took a family vacation down to Colorado in the States, and it actually started off with me and my husband and our youngest son, Tristan. We're going to go on this trip. And the reason why we were going, as every Border Patrol officer is asked why we were going there, was to go to the Red Rocks Amphitheater in Morrison, Colorado, which is just like a suburb basically to Denver. Denver's huge. And so the Red Rocks Amphitheater is this beautiful amphitheater built in the Red Rocks. And it's like these massive boulders. You think there's like giants that are like sleeping giants, I think Tristan calls them. It's absolutely beautiful. And so Lord Huron is a band that we really like, and they were playing there. So we had bought tickets way back, I think in February, beginning of February is when we got these tickets. So the three of us were planning to go. We were super pumped, and our youngest son had never been to a concert, but he loves them as well. So that's how it started out. And then I think closer to our trip, probably just a couple months ago, our daughter also wanted to join us because she's moving to the States next March. So she was like, oh, can I come? Like, I'll be finishing classes and I'd like to spend time with you guys. So we're like, yeah, sure. We're driving though. So you want to come? And she was like, yeah, it'd be awesome. And then our other son decided to come too. So we all crammed in my car, and we drove down there, and everybody did amazing. And it was awesome. I drove the first day. We broke it up into 2 days going down and then coming home. So we stopped at Miles City, Montana. Was basically the exact halfway point to our Airbnb in Colorado. So that was really interesting. Just doing the drive through Saskatchewan, and it's like literally one long road. When you hit Moose Jaw, and then you just go straight, and it's almost like the road, if you look at it, it's like, yep, that just goes all the way to America. Like it's just straight. It doesn't, but it looks that way.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. And then we made it to the border, And I have never crossed the border by land.
Oh,
I've only ever done it by plane. And I was driving.
it's
so of
very
course,
different.
It's very different. Yes. And Chris is like, why are you so nervous? And I was like,
Oh.
what? I just wasn't nervous, but apparently I was nervous. Maybe I was giving off that kind of energy, but intimidating. You're just like, you don't know what you're doing, and you're just like pulling up, and it's like, stop here and wait. And then they come out of their lunchroom, because they have
Yep.
nothing to do. And
Mhm.
then they wave you in, and you got to go into this garage, and they like lock you
Well,
in.
wait a sec.
Meow.
Which one did you go to? Which
I think it's called Coronach,
oh,
Saskatchewan.
okay.
I don't know. Way down south, straight south from Moose Jaw.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you like pull into this garage, and then they close the
Okay.
door. So you're like
Mhm.
in there trapped now. It's a little intimidating. And then so you give all the passports, and so there was 2 officers, and so they were like, yeah, so they take your passports, they look at it, you hear them talking to each other, radioing, I don't know who. So and so.
Hold on 1 second. Got a question.
Yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
Now, you do remember what happened when I was with you in Arizona to a passport. Now, did that passport get replaced?
Yes, the passport is replaced.
Okay.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if he would have cared. Tristan's was expired, but I wasn't allowed to get a new one anyway because I bought his like 10 years ago. But he's going to be 16 in August.
Right.
And so when I went, I can't apply for another kid one. And they said no. And
Right.
apparently you don't even need a passport for kids when you cross by land. They
No.
don't even need a passport.
Nope.
So I just brought it as his identification. But yeah, so he's like, this one's expired, blah, blah, blah. So you hear them talking and you're like stressing out. It's like, please don't turn us around. So yeah, and then he opened the trunk and zipping. He like did one zip, probably waiting for everyone to react or something. Nothing happened.
All of a sudden, all this cash flies out. Just kidding.
Yeah, no, it was good. So then he closed it, and then he was like, okay. Then he would start chatting with us about like the cost. I hear the cost of your passports are really expensive. And I said, yeah, it costs $160 for that passport. And he's like, what? Oh my God. So yeah, I was like, yeah, well, that's Canada for you. So anyway, so then they opened the garage and the door and whatever, and they let you go. And then we were literally free, which was awesome. And now you're on the US side, which you get to go way faster, which is awesome. And so I just kind of adjusted my odometer or whatever, speedometer, sorry, to
2 miles.
Be in miles. And but yeah, it's like 90 miles per hour. Like that's fast. That's almost 150 kilometers.
I know. And at one time, I can't remember which state, and maybe it was Montana.
Yeah.
They didn't actually have a speed limit because I do remember Dwayne's cousin going down there to rip.
Oh, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I could definitely see that. Yeah. Montana is like, you're just on one road and it's wide open, and there is like some hills and things like that, but it's so quiet. It's just farmers wherever you see them. They obviously love John Deere. That's all I saw.
Yeah.
It was like, I think they only make John Deere here in the US. And lots of, what are they called? Like gazelles maybe, or
okay, yeah. I mean, I know you have gazelles, right? Gazelles, yeah. Pretty sure that's what they're called in Saskatchewan, but
yeah, there's another name for them. Can't think of it at the moment.
Deer. Oh, antelope.
No, not deer. Antelope.
Yeah, antelope. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what are they called? Yeah, so there's tons of those, like everywhere. You're like, oh, more antelope. Okay. Oh, more antelope. But it was beautiful, very green. People were really nice in Montana. And like once we got to Miles City, the hotel that we stayed at the first night wasn't the greatest. That was a little bit, it was wasn't very fun. I was like, oh, I can't wait to come back.
On a scale of hotels, and we've been in
Ugh.
Sketchy ones.
Okay, Moose Jaw was like, remember the place the Airbnb in Moose Jaw that we talked about? Okay, I'd have stayed there 10 times over this place.
Oh God.
Yeah, like anyway, so thank God that was one night, and then that was over. So then we hit the road again, and then Chris pretty much did the rest of the driving through just the rest of Montana. Then we drove all the way through Wyoming, and of course we were on a hunt for Starbucks mugs, but there are none in Montana unless you go to Billings, and that was like an extra 2 hours off the route. So we're like,
they don't
we'll
usually they usually have them in like a bigger center, especially when you go to like North Dakota, Montana, Idaho, like they're all in the major centers.
Wide open. So we're like, no, we don't want to drive 2 more hours for a mug that might not be there. So some other time. So then we get to Wyoming and we're like, oh, interesting. Wyoming was different. It just has it's amazing how every state has such a different feel. Every place you go to, the vibe is different. Oh, I should back up and say in Miles City, Montana, when we got there, we wanted to find a park. And so I said, well, let's go downtown towards where our next place is that we're staying when we come back. Because I saw on the map there was this huge green space. So we went down there and they had like this beautiful park with huge trees. Like you can't even put your arms around it. It would take like 4 of us to put our arms around it. So the kids were playing and we walked through it and grounded ourselves, took our shoes off. It was awesome. And then we just kind of like walked around like their little main strip, I guess is what it is. It's just full of bars, right? The Bison bar, this bar, casino, you know, saddle shops. It's so cool. And then we stumbled across a bowling alley. So we went into the bowling alley and so old school. It's like beep, 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 you know, like entering every letter of like their name on the scoreboard and everything. It was so awesome. So we bowled. I won. Which shocked me.
Sorry.
It's okay. I won.
I'm sorry. I was like, what?
I know. Mom was like, I saw when you sent the picture. I sent her a picture.
Oh, of course, she probably zoomed.
I sent her 2 pictures. One is like we were halfway through, and then the final kind of at the end. And she goes, I saw you won. High fives me. She's like, yes, that's my daughter. I was like, it was so good. Anyway,
that's
so
cute.
I won. So it was just like a fun evening. So then we hit the road, and which was really funny. So we were on a hunt for a Starbucks mug in Wyoming. So we went to Cheyenne, and they didn't have any. So we're like, okay, we'll get one. Oh no, we did get one in Cheyenne. We were somewhere else. I can't remember what it was called, but they didn't have any. So we proceeded on route, and we're driving, and it's pretty fast. And all of a sudden, Carson, my middle son, he's intuitive, but he thinks it's really interesting how he just like randomly uses it. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so then he says, he's in the back seat behind Chris, and he goes, yeah, I wonder what it would take to get pulled over here, like how much over the speed limit you can go. All of a sudden, sheriff coming, and then whips like right by. And Chris goes, well, I guess we're gonna find out.
Yeah. God.
So he's like right up on our bumper, probably trying to figure out what in the hell kind of plates he's reading.
Yes.
Honestly. Yeah. He's like, what? And then got closer and closer. Now he's like literally tailing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh God. He probably is like, this vehicle
he's
stolen. Right? Yeah, trying to be like, what is that? What are all those letters?
He's probably like sketch.
Literally.
Yeah.
Everybody does that.
I know.
Oh my gosh. So then I'm assuming he can't read the plates. So he just puts his lights on, and that's it. Now we're being pulled over. So we pull over. This guy comes out of his car and he walks right up to the bumper, and he scrouches down, and he's reading. I can hear him on his little walkie-talkie. He's like, Saskatchewan. Yeah. Then he starts reading off my plates. It was so awesome. I was like, he can't read our plates. So he comes over, says hello and whatever. And I pulled you over because you're speeding back there and you were 10 over. So we're like, okay, now we know 10 over. So we're
Yeah.
over. And so he took Chris's driver's license and the registration, and he's looking at my piece of paper and he's like, is there anything else? And we're like, nope, that's all it. That's it. And I said, yep, all of that on the piece of paper is for my car. He's like, sweet. So he goes to his vehicle, comes back, and he's like, I'm not going to pull you. I'm not going to give you guys a ticket. I'm just, just wanted to say hi and whatever. And just to let us know we were speeding.
Warning. Yeah.
So yeah, it was so funny. Carson's like, well, that was freaky. I probably knew that was gonna happen. That's probably why I wondered it. So yeah, anyway, it was really cool. Super nice guy. And but of course my heart's like,
well, yeah,
like,
because
oh God.
like
And
my thought would be like, we're foreigners.
Oh, totally, right? I'm just like, oh my, and then Carson starts to tell us after, oh, did you know that if they give you a ticket in this state that you have to come back and you have to go to court and blah blah blah. And I was like, awesome. So yeah, so that didn't happen. We didn't get a ticket. That was nice. And then yeah, made it into Colorado, started to see the Rockies. I assumed when we got to Colorado that it was going to be like BC,
like
moving in,
yeah,
ours. I'm like, oh, these are your Rockies. They're like the ones at Canmore, maybe not even,
right?
Like when you're just starting to drive.
They're
to
like
the mountains.
hills,
yeah, like small mountains,
yeah.
And they're not in the city, like not like Kelowna and all that, where you're more nestled. It's more northern BC, I would say. So it's very much in the background, far away. So like even for us to go hiking, it was like a 40-minute drive just to get to like a trailhead or something. That's not even in the mountain,
right?
Because it's not really a big mountain,
Yeah.
But so it was just beautiful. It was nice to see. I loved that it was wide open. Like no offense to any BC people, like I'm just not a big fan of being like right in the mountains. Yeah. Like I feel really claustrophobic. I think they're beautiful and I love to visit there. But I definitely love that openness. Obviously, I'm a Saskatchewan prairie person, so I love the openness. I'm like, yes, space. So yeah, I got into our Airbnb and it was perfect. It was a 4-level split. So we had lots of space for all of us and had lots of things to do and lots of, like, we were nearby a whole bunch of stores, of course.
Nice.
Target, all the places the kids want to go. And didn't make it to a Barnes and Noble. We wanted to, but that didn't happen. We did go to Krispy Kreme's, try their donuts that apparently are so amazing. They're disgusting.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. No, they're too soggy for me. I don't.
Oh, they're so gross. Chris was like, oh my God. So he ordered like a box of 6 right off the hop for himself. And I'm like, I'll have a mini donut to try. I had 1 bite and I was like, I can't eat this. So yeah, he ate like 2 and he's like, these are disgusting. I was like, yeah. And I think Isabel really wanted to go to Krispy Kreme's, but because she has a gluten allergy, she couldn't have anything. They don't have gluten there, or gluten-free ones. So I was like, you're not missing anything. Don't worry. Like, swear on my life.
Yeah.
I was like, you're good.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that was cool. So just tried a bunch of different things, went to Chipotle. We haven't done that either. So that was really good. And then the next day we went, we also discovered that it was a long weekend there.
Oh.
I didn't know it was a holiday.
Oh no.
There was like no places that were open on Sunday and we didn't know why. That first started when we were in Montana. We were going for breakfast and they were closed. And the guy goes, apparently it's a holiday. And I'm like, it's a holiday? I'm standing around in the parking lot. I'm like, maybe that's why we saw all the red, white, and blue at the Walmart. It's just like,
so what did they tell you what holiday it was? Like, I don't even know.
Memorial.
Oh yes. So that's like
weekend.
our like May long, but theirs is Memorial.
Yeah. Didn't even know.
Oh,
so
right.
Monday, we were like, before we go to the baseball game, was that Monday? No, Monday we didn't go anywhere. That was Tuesday. So Monday we were like, let's just go shopping and just kind of like have a chill day, get our groceries and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And we went to an outlet mall and there's just people everywhere, because it was a holiday and
Right.
everything was like additional, this off, that off. I'm just
Yes.
like, oh, for somebody who loves to shop, it's a big problem when you've packed 5 people in my car. We all have bags, which I have to say, I packed in a very small duffel bag. Very proud of myself. I've
Yeah.
never done that in my life, for anybody. And
Even if she comes to my
Lord
house for a
knows.
weekend, she brings 3 duffel bags. So one bag is pretty damn good.
It was so good. My Herschel duffel bag. I was
Wow.
so impressed. I know. And I sent a picture to Isabel and I'm like, so proud of myself before we picked her up. And she was like, wow, I was harping on you and I feel really bad. I packed in a suitcase. I was like, yes. It was awesome. Anyway, so yeah, we shopped Monday. It was awesome. And then yeah, we just hung out and chilled for Monday night. Tuesday, we went to we went to the whatchamacallit, it's like a butterfly conservatory or something.
Oh.
Butterfly something. Anyway, it's a huge, like, yeah, I think that's what they're called.
Yeah,
Butterfly
conservatory.
conservatory.
Yeah.
So you go in there and there's like thousands of butterflies everywhere, and like every different kind. They were so beautiful. We hung out there for a good couple hours. Really expensive. It
Oh,
was $16.95 per person, American.
how much?
$16.95 American per person.
Like 1.6?
Yeah, 1,695. Was like, wow. So, but it was worth it. It was
Yeah.
beautiful. And they had, oh my gosh, they had like, oh, I'm getting hot already thinking about it. They had big spiders.
Oh,
They had spiders,
cool.
tarantulas, and other ones you couldn't find and see.
Mhm.
Oh, and then this lady that worked there had one of the tarantulas out. Her name was Rosie, and you could go hold
Oh,
her.
nice.
Chris is like, honey, this is a really good opportunity for you to get over your fear. You should go hold Rosie. I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't even take pictures for Tristan. He does it. Oh my God. I couldn't do it. I'm already sweating.
Yeah, but you could have like
Full-blown
just,
sweat.
you didn't have to hold it, but couldn't you have at least just try to touch it? No.
I watched Tristan touch it. I'm like, Isabel, go take pictures for your brother. Yeah, I couldn't. I thought about it because I was like, I remember when Shelly tried to get over her fear of owls and she went to the owl
I
sanctuary,
sure did.
birds of prey, and you did that.
Mhm.
I could do the bird thing. I just don't think I could.
Obviously, because you were okay with birds. I was
like,
not.
Literally sweating. So, and then you get a sticker. You get to wear this ugly sticker of you got to like old
Hold
Rosie that
Rosie.
Tristan had put on his hat. I was like, oh God. It's like, please can you go wash your hands? Anyway, so that was that. And then we went to the ball game. We went downtown to Coors Field when we hadn't been to that ball field, and it's one that's not enclosed.
Right.
It's like an original, so it's
Yeah.
much smaller. So I have to say I've been to the Texas field. That's the biggest one I've been to. Of course, I think everything in Texas is bigger, is what they say anyway. So their
Yeah.
field is really big. I haven't been to any other to compare, but Texas was huge and just like amped. And
Yeah.
then we went to Arizona in April, and that was a little smaller, still amped. And then this one was like, it had a very small town feel baseball. Like it wasn't full, wasn't packed.
Yeah.
You know, it just felt like you were back in time, like more
Mhm.
original. It was really cool.
Yeah.
So it was a really neat experience. It was
Well,
beautiful.
that would be the one that I was saying earlier that I was jealous
Yeah.
of, because I really love baseball and we go to baseball games a lot, as much as we
Yeah.
can anyway. And so I was like,
I know. I was sending them pictures and I was like, we
Yeah.
wish you were here. Because I know
Yeah.
they love baseball
we
too.
do.
So
Yeah.
and unfortunately Colorado lost that
Yes.
night.
Yeah.
And then they won the next night, but we were at the
Oh.
concert next night. So,
Oh.
so that's okay. But it's just so sad, like when they're losing,
Yeah.
how many people leave and don't stay till the end?
Oh God.
They're
No.
their own people. Like I'm like, you guys,
I don't even want to
like
go
you can-
there because
it's like the game
But-
can literally change,
exactly.
right? Like that.
I know.
And I'm just like, oh, like you won't even support your team. Like that's just so sad. Like I think that's
Mhm.
just poor sportsmanship.
Yep.
But that's just
But they
my
do
opinion.
that for every sport. It's not just baseball.
Oh,
It's
well,
also
I
for
haven't been to
hockey.
other,
It's also
so-
for football.
Okay, well, that bothers me.
It
you
does.
know.
That's why I'm like, I don't want to talk about that because
We stay right to the end. We're those people, I guess.
yeah.
So yeah, that was awesome. I got our parents some swag from there. Our mother loves purple, I have to say. Like
Oh
loves
yeah,
purple.
that's right.
And Colorado
Colorado's purple.
is
Yeah.
purple. And she was like, I wish you could please just buy me a purple hat. Yeah, I bought her a purple hat. She was so happy. So yeah, it was so
Nice.
cool. Go to baseball game and oh my gosh, the cutest little girl sitting a couple rows in front of us.
Mhm.
What those things are called. I didn't even know they made those things, but there was this massive notepad
Yeah.
with little ball diamonds and
Yeah,
like
it's like a score sheet. And then so what they do is they put all of the stats or whatever happened on each
each
inning.
player.
Yep. And on
Each
player.
inning.
Yeah.
And she's
Yeah.
just like she works for the MLB. Like she's just like, yeah. And then they like scored or whatever. And she was like
Yeah.
jumping up and down her. And she was like, Dad. I was like, yeah. No, Dad. I was like, yeah. Like she was just like so into it. I was just like, my God, I love this kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she definitely wants to work for the MLB when she gets older.
Yeah.
I've never seen a kid like this. She was probably like 8, 9.
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
at the most, like really young. Like, wow.
You
That's
should
so
see
cool.
them at spring training. Like we haven't been to the ones on the west side, but we've been on to the east side, like when we go see Toronto.
Okay.
Yeah. Lots of people have those things out and they're writing down stats and
First time I ever seen those things, I was like, that is cool. And the fact that you're that young and you know how to do that is even more amazing.
yeah. Yeah.
It was
She
so
either
cool.
had like a dad or a grandpa or somebody that was really into baseball and taught her how to do those things. And yeah.
Well, her dad was doing it too.
Okay, well there you go.
But
yeah.
I was just like,
yeah.
And then they knew some big shots. They just had got off the plane. They came at the last inning. And she was like, oh. She's like yelling at her. And they then got escorted through the gates or whatever to go with the players or whatever. And I was like, that kid is so cool. Like, I want to be friends with that kid.
It could have been maybe her dad playing or somebody. You never know. Like maybe the person she was sitting beside wasn't her dad, and maybe that her dad's a player or somebody works there or
it was amazing.
Cool.
Or maybe her dad works for
that's what I mean. Like it could be
somebody.
some kind of like, yeah.
Yeah, it was so cool. Yeah, the game was awesome. I had the best time.
Nice.
And Isabel's been to a ball game with us before, so it was the boys' first time at a real baseball game. So they really, really enjoyed themselves. So that was awesome. Then the next day, that's the day we went to the concert. So we did go for a hike that morning. So we drove to Boulder to go for a hike. And yeah, it wasn't bad. It was weird because the hike that we were on, you are actually going up like the mountain, but the road, you have to cross the road so you walk a little bit and kind of like curve up or whatever. And then you get to the highway and you got to cross the highway and then you keep hiking up the trail and then you cross the highway and hike up the trail. And
interesting. Okay.
So weird. So you're like in nature and then you're like motorbikes, trucks, right? So you're just like, wow, this is so weird.
Like
I've never
Serenity,
hiked.
then
City.
Serenity.
Totally. It was always like strange. Anyway, as we were coming back down, we're like halfway back down and Chris was ahead of us. And then all of a sudden he's like face to face with a deer. It's just like right there. And then Carson's like, down. He's freaking out. It's okay. They were just like, they weren't babies, but like kind of in between, I would say. There was 3 of them. They were just laying there. And I was like, don't startle them because they'll run on the road because there's roads here.
Well, and not only that, people don't know this actually, but deer can be aggressive. So you have to be very careful.
Yeah.
But everybody thinks, oh, deer are just these, gentle little animals, but they're not. They're animals.
Yeah, they're still animals.
That's
and they're in their environment.
Yeah.
So I was just like, everybody go slow. Don't startle them. Like, oh my gosh, I would just be so upset if one darted because the highway was right there. And I was just like, if he just darts up there, likely he could be hit. And I was like, I
Yeah.
didn't want that. So yeah, so that was really cool to see, have that experience. And we went down into Boulder and went to Pearl Street. If anybody goes down in that area, they've got tons of shops and restaurants and all that stuff. So we went to, what's it called? Wild Country, I think, or something like that. Went for burgers and stuff, and it was really good, and did a little bit of walking around, found a record shop, which was really cool. I bought Tristan a cassette, like Walkman, because he's been well, he started getting cassettes because his car has a cassette player.
Right.
That's how old it is. So he's been already buying cassettes, and Walkmans have been starting to come out. So they had one there, a retro one. So that was like the highlight, I think, next to the concert of the entire trip. So he's got a good collection of cassettes and was stoked about that. And yeah, it was amazing. Then we went to the concert, and oh my gosh, we left 2 hours earlier, and we had just got there at 6:21, just had parked finally and thank God the doors opened at 6:30. The concert didn't start till 7:30.
Okay.
So it was just like, and it said from the Airbnb, it was like a 40-minute drive, but there's only like one way in, and it's no matter how early you go, you're just waiting. So yeah. So like there's like downsides to it, that I would say. And then you're not even in the parking lots anymore. Like we parked on the hill on the road down.
Okay.
And then you got to walk all the way up to the amphitheater, and then you got to walk all the way up the mountain to the amphitheater.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, why did we go hiking this morning? My legs were on fire. I was like, oh my God. So we get in, and all I wanted was like swag. And so we walked in, and I was like, there's the swag table. And then the line went all the way up. And I was
I can only imagine.
Awesome. So yeah, we hiked all the way up there, pretty much to our seats, and then just stood in line. It moved quickly, which was nice. Got myself a hoodie. Sweet. Then the concert started. There was a girl that came to play first. Her name was Clover County. She's sweet. She's from Georgia. I would say check her out. She's just a sweetheart. She just finished college, and here she is playing at the Red Rocks Amphitheater. So she was a bit emotional, and it was just like you could feel her emotion. And I'm like, oh, yeah, it was so beautiful. And
to open for Lord Huron.
Yeah, she's like, I don't know anyone that's just come out of college. Right. I've already started living my dream, and here I am already playing at the Red Rocks Amphitheater. Yeah. And like touring with Lord Huron. Like, what? I was just like, I would have cried for you. Yeah. I was so proud of her. I was like, that's amazing, living your dream, right? Yeah. So inspiring. And then Lord Huron came out, and that was it. I didn't sit. Oh my gosh. And then the couple that was sitting next to Tristan were very I would say into the music, they really feel it, it's very like lovey, like I would say very like what I would imagine 70s hippies times to be like when you're at Woodstock, right? They're just like, oh yeah, this is awesome. Right. So we sat beside them. Tristan was next to the couple, and they left halfway through for like a break or whatever, and came back, and he was like, Mom, that couple, they're very different. They're very sensual. Because she's like grabbing his butt, just like right in Tristan's face. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I just laughed at him. Yeah, it was awesome. I have to say it was the best sounding concert I have ever been to. And I've been to a lot of concerts in different venues, and they do an amazing job at that place. And Sarah McLachlan's going there. She just announced. And
she's doing a Canadian tour. Actually, she just announced too. So
I just got free tickets.
Oh, cool.
Actually, because the last time Sarah McLachlan was touring, way before COVID, I bought us tickets. Chris and I had gone and seen Sarah McLachlan years prior to that, like probably when Tristan was a baby. Yeah, as a matter of fact, we did. We went down to Regina, and it was so intimate and private, and it was so beautiful, and we loved it. So she was coming again, and she was playing at TCU here, like the smaller one, not SaskTel Center. Yeah. So I bought us tickets for a date night, and I got the dates wrong, so we missed it. Yeah, I was so sad. Oh my gosh, I
Oh,
felt so bad. I got us like second row, and we got all gussied up and went for dinner. And I'm thinking, why isn't it busy places down
right.
here?
Yeah.
You know, thinking should be so
It should be
busy.
packed. Yeah.
Then we get to the event center and it's like, there's no concert here. That was last night. And it was like, what? What? You're literally crushing my heart right now. Yeah,
Oh,
we missed it. I felt so bad. So I was so distraught. So I emailed like
yeah.
her contact or whatever you could at that time.
Yeah.
This was, I looked at the email because I saved it. It was 2014
Wow.
was when this concert
That's
was.
10 years ago.
Yeah. And she hasn't been here since.
No.
And I emailed and was like, oh my God, like I had second row tickets. This was like our date night. Like we loved her. I can't believe I missed it. Like blah, blah. Like I was just like, I'm so sad.
Mhm.
And I don't know why I did that. And I did. And she was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry to hear that. And she's like, next time I'm in town, I'll give you complimentary tickets so you can come back to the show or whatever. I was
Right.
like, sweet. But she didn't, and COVID happened.
Right.
So then I saw she was touring again.
Mhm.
And so then I pulled up that email and replied back and was like, I see she's coming to Saskatoon. And she was like, yeah, absolutely. I'll leave 2 tickets for you at the box office. You can pick them up that night. And she's mailing me an autographed picture in the mail as well. I was like, oh, thanks. So yeah, anyway, there's lots of really, really good bands at the Red Rocks Amphitheater. I would say it's an experience that I think everyone should have. It's so amazing. It's beautiful. If you love music and you love live music, the atmosphere and the beauty, the everything is just absolutely stunning.
Nice.
It's definitely, that was the highlight of the entire trip for us. I know Isabel and Carson didn't go. They didn't want to go to the concert. So that was our huge highlight. And I just danced all night. It was awesome. And
Nice.
then what did we do? Oh, Thursday was basically our last day. We kind of hung around, went down to Boulder. My husband loves audio music, and one of the companies that he absolutely loves and follows, one of their like, I don't know, maybe it is their headquarters or their like production place, whatever is
Oh,
there.
okay. Yeah.
So he had been in touch with the guys and were able to get a tour, which was so cool to see how like everything is actually built. It's just amazing. These engineers, I don't even, way out of my realm. Was amazing to see and to experience the whole thing from start to finish, and how they keep the costs low. They're just, everything is amazing. And
Cool.
we got to go in their listening room, and that was cool. And then after that, they had a mixing room. So they have a recording studio just down the block.
Oh,
They
okay.
also do recordings, they're like a recording label.
Yeah.
And so we didn't go there. But they had a mixing room upstairs, and this guy that works upstairs, he wasn't there that day. He has mixed like the master mixing tapes for like Pink Floyd and like Elton John. He still works with Pink Floyd today. And so it was on this old system. And so we got to be in the mixing room, and he played a couple of the master tracks,
Oh.
which was from like the originals from the 60s.
Right.
And it's just like amazing. And they don't do tours up there anymore because somebody had gone in there, and Sony had apparently made these speakers way back in time in the early 90s. They only made 15 of them. And this guy that mixes has 10 of them.
Wow.
So he has 5 because they're stationed to come all around you as a full circle is how they work.
Okay.
So he has 5 there, and he has 5 at his home personal studio.
Wow.
And so they used to do tours in the mixing room, but somebody had bumped one of the tweeters on the top of it, damaged it. And you can't even get parts for these things to fix them or anything. So they just, no more tours. So we were really special that they took us up there and gave us a tour of the mixing room, and were able to listen. I was like,
That's cool.
it was so cool. It was amazing. And there's another guy, his speakers are there. He donated them to him because he knew the guy that did the mixing, but I can't remember his name. He's a really famous guy.
Okay.
Oh, what is his name? Kind of reminds me of like the Rolling Stones guy, but he's not him.
Oh,
Trying to think of like what his name is. But anyway, somebody like that.
okay.
There was just
Cool.
cool stuff in there. And they had like an old synthesizer in there, like
Oh,
It was so
wow.
cool. Yeah, it was
It's like
amazing.
stepping it back in time.
Literally, it was amazing. He played this track where this guy just came in and just stood right in front of the mixing table
Yeah.
and just had his guitar and one mic, and it is absolutely incredible. It sounds like he's running through a 5 mic process. Like, it's
Cool.
cool. So yeah, so we left the tour and then went back to Pearl Street. And then we went into this old bookstore. It was from like the oh my gosh, I don't have the bag anymore. It's like 1960s or something. And it's an old, like kind of hotel. Like, it has a ballroom like this. The labels are still over
Oh,
it. And it has like all
okay.
these floors, and it's wooden and creaky, and
Mhm.
incredible bookstore. Loved it. Bought a
Yeah.
couple books, but they carry like new and used.
Yeah.
So when you're looking, they have like used ones behind the new ones too, and you can pick what you want. So I got a couple books from there. That was really cool. Continued on doing our shopping and went to a bunch of different little shops and checking things out, and people selling alien books and like alien encounter books. And then you meet people who want to talk about the environment and,
Mhm.
hey friend, you want to come and sit down and let's talk about the nature, and it's like, and the environment, and it's like so cute. So yeah, it's got quite a vibe. I would say if you're ever down there, could really check it out. It's a really quaint little place, but
Nice.
yeah, I would say it's very like high end more feeling, I would say.
Okay.
Like, it's a lot of college people too, but also like very high end. Like, I was telling Shelly earlier that I think 2 people said hi to us
Yeah.
the whole week we were there. No matter, and we went a lot of places,
Yeah.
and they weren't friendly. I don't know why. They were probably like, they're obviously Canadian. We're like,
They're like, don't talk to them.
avoid them. But yeah, we'd be like, hi there, even on our hike and stuff. And they just ignore you. Like, I'm just like, what are you doing? I'm right here. I said hello to you. Like,
Well,
what? Oh, I don't know.
yeah, like
I love the southern states. Like, I've never toured in the northern states before. I know you have.
I have, yeah.
Yeah, and it's very different. Every state is different,
Yep.
but the northern states are very different from the southern states.
Yep.
And the
They
southern
sure
states,
are.
they're so nice. They're just like, hi doll, hey girl,
Yeah.
how you doing? Can I get you anything? You know, like, they're just like, where are
Yeah.
you all from? Canada. What are you doing all the way down here?
Yes,
You know?
exactly.
I love it.
Yeah.
But
Totally that. Totally that. I
yeah,
find,
it's weird.
yeah. I've been to almost every northern state, like
Mhm.
not, how do I say this? Like, I have been to a lot of states, but I feel like I've been almost to every state, like at the border of Canada, right? So like
Okay. All the
Washington,
northern ones.
yeah, like Idaho, Montana, North Dakota,
Yeah, I'd like to go north.
Missouri, like all those, right? Ohio, like I've been to a lot, and I hope I don't offend anybody, but yeah, there are some states that they are just not friendly at all.
Yeah, I
And
found like, and I don't know if it's just they're not friendly or they're just in their own world.
yeah, for sure.
know,
But there
just
are
like,
some that are just not friendly.
yeah,
Trust me. I
yeah. This
have
lady,
seen some.
this lady was okay. We were driving, leaving Boulder to go back,
Yeah.
and we went into the lane beside her.
Yeah.
Nothing was happening. We're just driving, and she starts wailing her horn at us. Pulls out her cell phone and starts recording us or taking pictures. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What's happening right now? Bizarre. And then she
Yeah.
turned off to a dog park, and I was like, and what was the point of that?
I will say I'm not going to say which state it is, because
Yeah.
I don't want to offend anybody, but
Yeah,
at the
for
same
sure.
time, there has been like what I really don't like, and I think it's because we're so Canadian, like, and
Yeah.
I mean so Canadian by like, we apologize, we, say sorry for everything, we open doors, we are very, we are considered a friendly country.
Yeah.
I don't even know why I'm holding a pen, but anyway.
Getting serious.
I'm getting serious, but I will say that there are some Americans who are
Yeah.
not at all and demand things, and they'll use even their fingers to demand.
Oh,
Like,
oh,
yo,
snapping your
yeah.
fingers. Oh, I see.
I don't like that.
Yeah, obviously.
It just,
Either. It's just
I,
not our way.
it's not. And I can understand, like, if we were from, from the United States, we would probably be the same. Like if we lived in whatever state, that's just how their culture is.
Yeah, totally.
However, it's just weird to me because that's just not how we were even raised. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just different. And you can tell the minute you go across, and it's like it's so weird how you can just tell you are in the United States. It's
crazy
and
a lot of
to me.
people say they find that Canada and US are so similar. And I'm like, no, they're not. It's so different. Oh, and they still have plastic straws and plastic bags.
Yes, I know.
They're like, what? They don't understand. I'm like, listen, we don't understand.
We don't either.
We don't understand either. No. She's like, I'm just going to be slinging bags all day. She was just like putting every item in a bag.
I know.
She like felt sorry for us. Honestly,
when we went, I know when we were in Florida
so
when we were in Florida for our trip, same thing, because we were like, I forget, like, because we're so used to not having them. And I know. So they're like, do you want a bag for that? And I'm like, how much is it? We had to pay for our bag. And she goes, free. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll take one. It's like,
I'll take 5.
And she'll be like, I'll double bag it for you. I'm like, oh, thanks,
Well, like, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, so I just found out that in Colorado, they just started charging for bags.
Oh, really?
We had to pay 10 cents every bag. Didn't matter where we were. I was like, oh yeah, because we were going into Whole Foods and I was like, oh, we don't have bags. And I was like, oh yeah, we're in America. Right. They give us bags. So we go and get our groceries and then they're like, would you like bags today? I'm like, well, yeah, they're free. And she's like, no, we charge 10 cents now. And I'm like, what's like that in Arizona?
You just said, what is this, Canada? Just kidding.
Yeah, what? Are we back at home? What's happening here?
Yeah, I know. I literally just paid 15 cents for a bag here. Like everywhere in Edmonton, you have to pay 15 cents for a bag. And
I think it's 25 cents at the co-op for a paper bag. God. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. 25 cents, or you can buy a reusable for $1, I want to say. But it's just crazy.
Yeah, it is.
It's different.
Well, I'm glad that you guys had a wonderful trip and sounds fun. Good. Yeah.
It was awesome. And the last place we stayed at when we went back to Miles City was downtown, and we all stayed together, but it was in an old YMCA building.
Oh, wow.
So it's all brick and like the old, like big staircase, right?
Yeah.
And all these rooms are like, they converted rooms into like these hotel rooms.
Right.
But it's very like barn Montana feel, like binders and cows hanging on the wall, like pictures of them and stuff. But so that building was, so I was like laying there and I'm like, oh God, I was like calling all the angels in. I'm like, please clear this room. And we all had the best sleep. So that was fantastic. So
that's
good. So good. And we had a crazy hailstorm. The last night we were in Colorado too, Thursday night, we had just got in. And these storms, it's interesting how dry it is there. And they have all these storms, but like no rain.
Yeah.
It's weird. But we had this huge hailstorm and it hailed ping pong sized balls for an hour at minimum straight. Yeah. It just like, it broke stuff in the backyard. Like when we left the next morning, it was just like, there was so much damage.
Yeah, I think that was the same storm that they were talking about for it hit like Denver and Dallas and all that, because they were talking about that actually only because the Oilers were playing and they were heading down to Dallas, and one of the sports person or whatever couldn't get through, like he was late because of the storms and stuff. So that had to have been that same like
same system.
Yeah. So
there was a lot of there was lots of like pockets of storms.
Yeah.
And but on the map they're like purple. They're just like, oh my God.
Right.
So I was like, thank God. And thank God at our Airbnb we had a garage to stay in. First time ever that we've been able to stay in the garage.
So it wouldn't damage your car.
Yeah, my car would have been written off for sure because it was so bad. But it was just So yeah, we encountered lots of different things, and there's like no bugs there. Like, what is that about? Is it because they actually spray everything and they kill stuff? Oh my gosh. Okay. Chris was telling me that. And I was like, really? Do they really? Because we come back and I'm like, I was like going for a walk and I'm slapping like 50 mosquitoes off of me. I'm like, God, like they need to
Yeah, they
die.
do. Even at resorts, anywhere you go, you will not see bugs and they spray.
Oh my God, it's terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, it's terrible. Like, it's nice, but it's
Yes,
terrible.
it's nice,
the
but it's
fact that they're
terrible that they do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
so yeah, it was a very interesting trip. It was an awesome trip. It was a very learning trip. And
Yeah.
would I go back? I would go back to the amphitheater for sure. Maybe do a couple more hikes or something, but I would definitely love to explore more of the South. I think that's where I feel drawn to. The North
Mhm.
is nice. I think I'd like to go back to Montana
Yeah.
and maybe go to Billings and stuff like that, or Helena
Yeah.
or something. But
Yeah, Montana reminds me a lot. Like I think I already said this to you like privately, but like Montana reminds me of a lot of Alberta.
Yeah,
It's just the
sure
same
does.
kind of, yeah, like
Yeah.
atmosphere. It's got the farming,
Ranchy,
yeah,
hills.
especially southern, like Calgary on, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it just reminds me a lot of that. So yeah,
Yeah, you got
Montana's a really
your
nice state.
Cummins trucks, and you got your
Mhm.
John Deeres
Yeah,
and cowboy boots, and
that's right.
yeah, it's definitely, it was very much, that's what it reminded me of, was I would say Alberta for sure.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah, I
a
would
lot
go
of people
back.
like going there. So
It was
Mhm.
amazing. It's like driving to Calgary, but way better. I was like, I would drive down to Montana any long weekend.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
to like go and buy all my stuff. You guys, I went to Walmart and they had gluten-free Oreos. Me and Shelly love gluten-free Oreos
Yeah.
because they're even better than Oreos. Like, I don't
They
like
are.
Oreos, but gluten-free Oreos, oh my gosh.
They
And
are
they
the
had
best.
different flavors. They had mint. I even got Shelly a package.
I know.
I
was like,
didn't have
"Please."
room. I shoved them under my seat. I like put them
I'm
up
so
against
excited.
the door.
I can't wait.
It was so cool. And then I even got a box of gluten-free like 2-packers. You can pack in your lunch.
No way.
Double
We don't even
stuffed
have
and
those.
regular. The lady at the checkout, she was like, this cute lady. She comes over and she's like, "Ooh, mint." And she comes back again because I'm scanning,
Yeah.
couple. And she comes back again and goes, taps and goes, "Nice to see that we're getting more gluten-free things." I'm like, I know. My daughter loves coming to America because there's so many gluten-free options. Like, it's
Yeah.
amazing.
It is.
Yeah, she was able to like have pretty much anything when we were down there. It was cool.
Yeah. Yeah. We're coming. We're coming. It's just slow.
It's just slow, but yeah,
Yeah.
it was amazing. So that was my trip,
Good.
everybody. And we were all safe. We all survived. No
Yeah.
flat tires, no
That's good.
nothing. So that was a relief. But
Nice.
yeah. So thanks for letting me all share that.
Yeah. It was good. I'm glad because, like I said, I really wanted to hear about it. And like I said,
Yeah.
there was a couple things I was like, I wish I was doing that.
I know. And I didn't
But-
even send any pictures or videos of the concert, but I'll definitely share them with you, or when you come
Yeah,
down,
I'd
I'll
love to.
show
Yeah,
them. But
for sure.
a
But
cool
thanks
trip.
so much
Yeah.
for sharing. It was awesome. Yeah.
Thank you. All right, everybody. Well, thank
Yeah.
you so much for tuning in and listening to us chat about my family vacation. And
Mhm.
we look forward to having you tune in on the next one.
Yes.
Most likely is going to be a teaching one, I
Yeah.
would have to say, is probably what we're going to like jump back into. And then after that, I think we might be talking about our retreat, because it'll
Yes, it's
probably have
coming
already
up.
happened, and it is coming up, and we are so excited.
Yes.
And yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we're going to say that 500 times, so we're going to stop.
Can't
So,
help it.
yeah, we can't help it, but we are so grateful for all of you to tune in and
Yes.
stick with us and listen to us, and hopefully
Yes.
laugh with us.
Yeah.
Which I've heard. And
Mhm.
also had some little bit of feedback from some clients who have listened to some of our stories about your surgery, needles, or the MICE one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so it's interesting to hear some people's feedback of like, I tried, I had to turn it off, I couldn't do it. Or I felt like you, Bev, where I was like getting queasy and just kind of
Yeah.
like, oh God, I
Or
don't
I've
know how
had
you
more
did it.
people or people say, I didn't know that's what you do, or like, things like
Yeah.
that. So it's great to hear a lot of good feedback, and we appreciate
Yeah.
them all. Really, we
Yeah,
do.
we really do. So that was really cool. So yeah, we thank you so much for tuning
Okay.
in, and we are sending you all love, light, and gratitude wherever this may find you today. Take care,
Yes.
everybody.
Take care, everyone.
Till next time.
Bye.